Hey crew, I can't believe I'm saying this. I have the key to this Lamborghini Huracan STO, Super Trofeo Omologato. We are going to take it for a drive, you bet we will, but first let's check out how it looks on the inside and outside. This one is painted in Nero Noctus, or black, and it attempts to conceal the crazy of this car, but fails miserably because there's too much. All of this functional aerodynamics, including these huge NACA ducts in the hood to relieve pressure from this area. The hood and fenders in the front are all one piece that clamshells forward, provided you have the key, which Lamborghini did not give me. You need it there and on the other side. These fenders are scalloped with exposed carbon fiber. 75% of the STO's body is in carbon fiber to save weight. Speaking of weight savings, magnesium wheels. They're wrapped in Bridgestone Potenza Sport tires, 245 section front, and 305s in the rear. Also love the red center lockers and the red painted carbon ceramic brakes, which are just huge. A lot of air inlets, including down low, behind the cabin, over the rear wheels, and why not a roof scoop? Just because street legal race car. Over the engine bay, that's louvered, looking awesome. And there is a shark fin in carbon fiber to keep the vehicle stable in corners. And on the straights, well, the stability comes from this huge 3-position adjustable rear wing. Stepping back to look at the profile, just visual lunacy, this car. I love it. Though I think I would paint it a different color. Look, you got an STO, why not shout about it? There's a baby blue color that they have that's just to die for. It's so good. At the rear, you could not ignore the two, I keep saying huge, they are huge, exhaust outlets straight out the back, STO in the meshed metal there, carbon fiber diffuser down low also, am I going to say it? It's huge. And just from the rear, how could you not be entranced? This is a kid's fantasy come to life. I'm so into it. Let's check out that interior. Opening up and looking inside at the fully customizable cabin. This one has the Sportivo seats with STO and Lamborghini crest stitched on them. They're mechanically adjustable seats. We have carbon fiber floor mats on a carbon fiber tub. I guess you get them for the grips on the floor mats. Alcantara wrapping on this flat bottom steering wheel. Alcantara wrapping on the headliner. Hand-sized paddle shifters mounted to the column where they should be. Not much going on the doors. There are power adjusting door mirrors, lock and unlock, a grab handle, and a fabric loop instead of a handle to release the door. Storage inside. Obviously nothing in the engine bay. You've got a fanny pack sized hole under the hood and a shelf behind the front seats. That's it. Just pack light. Getting in, a bit of a chore, it's so low. Make sure people are looking at the car and not you. Close up the door. You can see your digital gauge cluster is mildly reconfigurable on the left and right hand sides. There's an 8.4-inch touchscreen infotainment that's totally serviceable, pretty responsive, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. All these switches up top for your windows, your front end lift, your traction control, your hazards. You of course have your missile launcher style start stop and your gear selection. Not a console with storage. You do have 2 USB ports and your window to your V10 Destiny. It's cozy. I'm ready to take it for a drive though. Let's fire it up. Oh boy. There are fewer, better sounding startups from a modern car than that. You know what I didn't mention during the interior walk around, but I actually have headroom in this car, which is amazing because I'm remembering the Huracan Evo Spider that I drove not too long ago, and it was like, definitely wouldn't be able to put on a helmet in that car, but then again, you're not going to take the Spider to the track, Miles. This makes more sense. I've got headroom. That's good. Okay, we are going to start things off in STO Drive Mode, the Super Trofeo Omologato Drive Mode, which just means daily driving in this car. How about that view, huh? Just us. Here. Oh, and that Toyota Yaris over there. Just the two of us. Throw it into reverse by pulling back on what looks to be my ejector seat, and a backup camera shows up in the gauge cluster. Pretty good resolution. And we'll scoot on out of here. Now, I didn't do it because I don't really need it on this gravel surface, but we do have on this vehicle a hydraulic lift system that you can do to raise the nose and clear some steeper driveways. I demonstrate that in my POV test drive and night drive, so check those out. We'll start at an STO just briefly, just to kind of get familiar with the car as I talk about the specifications. 5.2 liter naturally aspirated V10, the same one found in the Huracan Evo. It still makes 630 horsepower in the STO and 471 pound-feet of torque. But now we've got less weight to move around, 95 pounds less than the Huracan Performante, and I think that makes a lot of sense because the Performante is an all-wheel drive vehicle and this is rear drive. So yeah, you're gonna save some weight there. That and all the carbon fiber bodywork, yes, you will save some weight. I'm bored with STO already. We're going to Trofeo. Now Trofeo is going to lock it in manual mode, so you have to, boy, what a chore. Have to use these beautiful paddles on the back of the steering wheel, which prompt some of the quickest shifts I've ever felt in a car. Oh, speaking of quick, and all of this power is matched by equally tenacious brakes. We've got Brembo carbon ceramic MR. I don't know what the MR stands for, but Lamborghini says they have better thermal efficiency than standard carbon ceramic brakes, which are built to provide consistent stopping power. These Brembos, with their F1 derived technology, have to be the best brakes I've ever driven, I've ever experienced in a road car. And it's not just the force. It's the feel of the pedal too. They're not overly sensitive, but they bite hard. They dig in, the pedal stays firm. You have all of this confidence that whatever the speed, you'll be able to scrub it. Now, the all-important turning radius test. How do we do? Oh, that's tidy. And I didn't really give it that much room. That's a good turning radius. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Horn test? Anyone? I'm totally good with that horn too. We'll buy the car, guys. It's got a good horn. No, that's not why you should buy it. This is why you should buy it. Liberty says the STO has a adjusted, tweaked, tuned exhaust system compared to the Evo. And I'll be honest, I can't really tell the differences, apart from it being perhaps louder. But I can tell you, this is one of the best soundtracks on planet Earth. The overrun. My goodness, the overrun. Just trying to eke it out right here. I want the verbals. Give me the verbals. marbles. Hang on. There we go. There are the firecrackers. I'm gonna miss this engine. And if this is the last Huracan, you bet I'm gonna miss this car. 960 pounds of downforce at 174 miles per hour. We're not gonna see those speeds today. But even at the speeds we are seeing, that arrow is coming into play. And you'd think that 8,500 RPM of redline would be enough. But no, I seem to want to go to 9,000 every time. No, 8,500 miles, that's plenty. We should probably also talk about the fact that the Huracan STO, unlike the Performante, I've already said this, is rear drive. But how does that play into the handling? Well, I'll tell you what, as you go around corners, it feels rear drive. You can feel that it doesn't have the ability to aid the nose. You don't have that extra grip. But what you do have in the STO is rear wheel steering, which, as I think about it, of course, the reason why that turning radius test was pretty good. But yes, the rear wheel steering just helps you pivot around corners in ways a standard rear drive car without would not. Let's pause here and do so. Hey Yaris, I forgot what I was saying. Do a launch control. ESC off, that's all you need when you're in Trofeo, and foot on the brake, in it, and thrust mode, let go. Struggle so hard to put the power down, not just because there's so much of it and it's only going to the rear wheels. ESC back on, thank you very much, or in Trofeo, but also just blame this road and all the debris that's on it. In fact, a car with more theater than this STO? In my head, I'm thinking, yeah, okay. The SVJ. But the SVJ doesn't weigh 2,900 pounds, so it's not going to do this. Unless it goes on a massive diet. It's phenomenal, this car. The STO is so well sorted. The shifts are so fast. These paddles feel so good. The brakes are out of this world. And the way it goes around a corner, the fact that I'm on Bridgestone street tires blows me away. The limits are so high. I can't even process. Look, people who want to get all caught up in the Super Trofeo, homologation, being the translation for homologato, and being like, hey, Lamborghini didn't have to build this car to go racing. No, but you know what? They do go racing with Huracans in the GT3 series. They're Trofeo cars. So they know a thing or two about building a highly track-capable car, and the fact that we're getting some of that tech here in a road car is a wonderful brand new, and that I happen to be in a position where I can drive it. Okay. STO. There is another drive mode down here, by the way. It's called POV. Sorry. I don't know why I tried to say it like I was Italian, because I'm not. POV. It's their wet weather drive mode. And I'm going to get out of this car. And clearly, we do not need that. And if you're taking your Huracan STO out in the snow, I would highly recommend you consider buying a winter beater. That would be okay. Maybe right if you're in a heavy downpour, then it just comes up upon you. This is a dry weather, high performance car, and more to that point, how is it as a daily driver? Well, he said I've got the headroom, and that's good. But while the windshield is not as severe as the Spider, I'm still looking out of a letterbox. I still have to do this when I want to see a stoplight. And the seats, though they hold me perfectly in place for the stuff we were just doing. I went to STO, and by doing STO, I go to automatic drive mode, or automatic transmission, by the way. They're still not comfortable. By any stretch of the imagination, are these seats comfortable? No. They're firm, and they transfer all of the body motions into your buttocks and into your lower spine. And so, on a rougher road like this, under construction, I'm getting bounced around something fierce. That's the suspension, that's also just everything being darn right rigid. Daily driver, this is not. The transmission in auto mode, though, the 7-speed dual clutch automatic, phenomenal. Like, this does daily driving very, very well as it did the stupid fast corners and aggressive maneuvers we were just doing back there. It coasts, it gets you up to pretty high gear to try to save fuel. The transmission is perfect in both duties. The car is loud. It's not as loud as a McLaren Senna. That was probably the loudest road legal car I've ever driven. But it's loud. It's loud. The suspension's firm. It's not a great daily driver. Get you to and from the track, no problems. Look awesome on a given weekend, absolutely no problems. The STO is magnificent. I choose it in a different color. I now don't know what that is sliding under my seat. Do apologize. What's it compete against? What's it cost? The STO starts at around $333,000. Add on any options to that, and you're looking at our as-tested $394,000. I did just talk to a gentleman at a Cars and Coffee event in the area who ordered an STO, and he put like no options on it, so he got it for $337,000. What is that sliding under the seats? So I guess you can do it. It's possible. It competes against other track-focused, high-performance supercars, not hypercars, supercars. The one that comes to mind immediately is the McLaren 765 LT. Drove that on the same road, had stupid amounts of fun. I would argue that's even potentially a more capable road legal track car. But I mean, it's potentially. I'm not really confident about that at all. Their limits are just so staggeringly high. When you're getting into that territory, you really need to be a professional racing driver to elicit the performance capable out of the cars. I am not. But it does make a lot more power. 755 horsepower for that car. The 0 to 60, it still being rear drive, isn't any better. It's 2.7 seconds. The 0 to 60 for this car is 2.6 seconds. We did not do a 2.6 second 0 to 60 up there when we did the thrust mode, I guarantee that. Top speed for that car is higher than this one. This one's limited to 193 by all of the aerodynamics dragging you down. The McLaren 765 LT is 205 mile per hour top speed. but it costs $385,000, so it costs another $50,000 more than this. We don't yet have a track special version of the Ferrari F8 Tributo. Oh, did he get over for me? That's so nice of him. Thank you. He did. Wasn't turning red. So nice. Thank you, Tesla. So it's kind of just the F8 Tributo until we get that special version. The F8 Tributo is less expensive at $279,000. It makes more power, 710 horsepower. It gets to 60 slower, 2.8 or 2.9 seconds. Top speed is way higher, 211 miles per hour. But it weighs much more. The McLaren 765LT weighs about the same as this, 2950. The Tributo, just the standard Tributo, not the Spider, is like 32 or 3,300 pounds. It's not a track special. It's not trying to cut all this weight. It's trying to be a daily drivable supercar. This and the 765 are not. And so it's really between those two. And I gotta say, the way this car looks is far more insane. The soundtrack is so much better than the 765LT. The limits, potentially not as high, but darn near as close. I would probably... darn. I don't know. I'm embarrassed to say I don't know. I literally turned off the camera and thought about it, and still couldn't come up with an answer. Yes, this is cheaper. The soundtrack is better. It looks more absurd. But that 765 is a stupendously special, for alliteration's sake, car. Park either one in my driveway. You would not insult me. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this POV drive review. If you did, please like, comment, and share the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell to get notified, and I'll see you again